That he hit the YouTube and all that, and they be following you and all that.
Check one, check two.
I'm not do none of that kind of stuff, man. My kids thing nowadays.
So we got done. First thing is, you know what they might not.
I told you to hire a pro.
Did you get from?
Pro.
Got termites? Don't call any pro. Call the ordinary.
Brother Rodney, get that information.
He has cracked the code. The smartest people on earth know how to
Tell my son about it. My son is the director of entertainment and media for Kevin Hart.
Oh, that's what's up.
And he
So Trump just got indicted. About it. Yeah.
Did he really?
Yeah, New
You
York.
really did? Get indicted?
Yeah,
they coming to get him, ain't
coming to get him.
they? Yeah, I think they're gonna come get this brother this time.
Man, they should have been got that brother.
Once they get him on one, they gonna quit being afraid. They gonna come get him on all of them.
Right.
They just took the easiest one to get him started.
I'm gonna leave it alone, but you know that privilege is that privilege. You know what I'm saying? So,
Well, you know, man, anybody can fall from grace. God is not in charge, so he had his moment.
I gotta go view my little cousin's body tomorrow up at Moon's. She was an educator, 47.
What was her name?
Tareen Anthony. She was an educator. Tareen Anthony Jones, because she was married. So I got to put that in there because I love her husband just like I love her. But me and her was me, her, and our family, you know. We got cancer. Did it to her. Just like, and she passed at 47 like a week and a half ago. And my mother passed at 45 almost 23 years ago. I was 25 then. I'm 48 now. But when my mother passed, it was almost 23 years ago. But I'm looking at my little.
How did your mother pass? Same way?
Breast cancer.
Yeah.
She passed from breast cancer, and Tareen passed from another cancer. But Tareen Anthony. But she was a teacher. She was an educator. She was somebody who made a difference in these young kids' lives, and she really cared. And I gotta go do that tomorrow. Tomorrow I gotta go see her, and then I gotta carry her casket from the church to her final resting spot in her renter body. I'm saying we renting bodies right now. That's what I'm gonna tell you. We renting out these bodies, these bones and this flesh. We renting this body because at the end of the day, it's all gonna happen to us. You know what I'm saying? We don't know when, we don't know why, we don't know how, but we renting these bodies. You know what I'm saying? And
that's inevitable.
And my biggest security blanket when it comes to my little cousin and my mother. I was 25 when my mother 20, almost 23. In November it'll be 23 years. And my cousin too. It's eerily it's so eerily similar. Thank you. It's eerily similar the way they passed 47, 45, and none of us expected that. I was looking at all my grandmothers and my old uncles and everybody in my family. I didn't think my mama was gonna die then, and I didn't think that my cousin.
Same thing.
Come on, man.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, cancer is a bad thing.
Yeah, it is. Man.
And she don't just catch. He don't. They don't just catch cancer. The whole family do. Only thing is the one that's sick have to deal with the sick part, but everybody that love you have to deal with the mental part.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. I'm really fortunate. My mom,
she was a teacher.
90.
Exactly.
So I'm very fortunate, man.
Very, very fortunate. And my grandmother died died at 52 from breast cancer. That's my mama's mother. Then my mother turned around and died at 45 from it.
Yeah, one of my brothers passed 3 or 4 years ago, man. That took me there, man.
Yeah, when you see what it does to him,
But he hit it. My brother hit it from everybody.
he had that. You know what I'm saying? He didn't want y'all to worry.
So I spent Christmas. I went to Virginia to spend Christmas with him, and I told him, I said, "Hey man, I need you to come on down around April, and we're gonna do some things down there." And he said, "Mike, I can't promise you that." He paid no attention, man. 90 days later, he was gone.
What did he say? He
told me, man, I can't promise you that. That's all he said, man. I ain't really paying no attention because he had just got appointed by Obama to be the choir director for Boys Choir of Harlem passed away. Obama made my brother the choir director for the Richmond Boys Choir. My brother was a bad boy. I got a picture with him, Obama, and all that. Man. He's a mess with him. Like, you did all this, blah, blah, you ever did this? Show me a picture of him and Obama. Nah, I ain't get that. I'm proud.
Bragging rights like a mother. You know what
I'm proud.
Proud should be. Come on, man.
And then, a year or so later, he was gone, man. That's how I got into this movie stuff and talking to him years back.
It don't cancer don't discriminate, and I tell people all the time that.
Well, he didn't die from cancer.
I mean, but
it don't discriminate.
But death
don't discriminate.
Period don't discriminate, and it hurts, especially when you ain't saying like talking and everything, and then these many months later, a short window.
But man, that was the best time I ever had. I went down to Virginia, spent 10 days with him. I never did.
Was that your big brother or your younger brother?
He was 11 months apart.
11 months apart. And you were older or you?
I'm older.
He was older. You know why he didn't tell you? Because he didn't want you to hurt.
Yeah,
That's it. That's it.
You know?
He didn't want you to hurt.
But you did. When they called me and told me it's gone, man, I couldn't breathe.
It's some of the worst pain. It might not be no pain that you ever felt before in your life that would be equivalent to that pain. You said your mama 90, right?
Yeah.
90 years old and still here.
Oh man, my mama, she's
amazing woman. And March is the celebration of life of women. Period. Yeah. On the planet. Ain't that right, DeJuan?
It's true.
Yeah, it's true.
We just did a show last week about that.
Yeah.
So,
I love my mama.
Oh man, it's truly a blessing, man. It's truly a blessing. Truly a blessing.
Yeah, we still celebrate women
all month, but
right.
like me and DeJuan said on the show, all year is what it's supposed to be celebrated because wouldn't none of us be here if it wasn't for them.
I my mama every
day. Hey, come on, every day, every minute, every second, every hour. Yeah, come on, man. I already know.
It wasn't nobody.
Come on, man. My mother, I got robbed. I felt like I got robbed. I turned my back on. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I turned my back on God for a minute. I was like, because my grandmother, the matriarchs of my family, they died from 2 of them in a row.
You arrived here in Flint?
Yeah, right here in Flint. Right here in Flint. Born and raised in Flint.
Yeah.
My mother died at 45 from it, and my grandmother, her mother, breast cancer, died at 52 from it. At 52 from it. And when you talk about matriarch, my grandmother was on the Flint Board of Education. Mary Rice. She was on the Flint Board of Education.
I remember that name.
Mary Rice. Mary Rice. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that was her married name, but her name was really Mary Rice Henderson. You know what I'm saying? Mary Henderson Rice. That's how I'm gonna put it. She was a Henderson first from roots in South Carolina, but she was the type of woman that when we were having our Christmas get-togethers and all that, she, in my mind, in my eyes, when I was little, she was Claire Huxtable, and my granddaddy was Bill Cosby, and I used to go fishing with my granddaddy. You know what I'm saying? I used to go fishing with him, and he taught me how to fish. You know what I'm saying? And all those things. He used to speak.
Peace and blessings, everybody.
You know?
Yeah, we live.
Heavy.
You know,
we light it up like sauce in the sauce in the sauce. We light it up like sauce in the sauce in the sauce. Fli-City got some dogs in it, dogs in it, dogs. Fli-City come off authentic, authentic. We light it up like sauce in the sauce in the sauce. We light it up like sauce in the sauce in the sauce.
My city experiencing a transition from penny pinching, maximizing our dollars, multiply triple digits. I came a long way from baby jars in a project kitchen.
Peace and blessings, everyone. It is definitely an honor to continue to keep going on with the broadcast. Of course, we're here at Fli-City Blackout. We're definitely in the studio just having a different conversation in the background, talking about how important women are in our life, right? Our mothers, our grandmothers. We'll still be celebrating, women every day, not only just in the month of March, right? As matriarchs of the family, they have always been there. And I can recall how, my mother has, put blood, sweat, and tears into ensuring that her children and her babies were able to live a lifestyle that we didn't even know we was poor, but she made it look good, right? So big shout out to you, Mama. We appreciate you all the work. Right. Big shout out to all mamas, right? So with that being said, it's a wonderful broadcast that we have today. We'll be discussing the future of the industry, the film industry here in Flint, right? One thing for sure, Flint has been known for a number of different entertainments where you talk about sports. You go all the way around the country and people know a basketball player, a football player that came from Flint, a boxer that came from Flint, somebody who's doing music currently from Flint. And now we'll be talking about the movie scene, right? Stage writing, right? Plays right here in the city of Flint. And with that being said, we have a phenomenal guest today, right? A good brother, man, that's been putting in work for a very long time and being out there on the forefront, creating and envisioning, being very innovative and putting those things out there on the market. So what we do have today is we have the good brother, Michael Matthews, in the studio, man. How you doing, good brother?
Good to have you here, man.
Man,
Good
come
to
on.
be here.
I know that's right, right?
Good to be here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So for those who may not be familiar with the work or the impact that has been made over umpteen years, why don't you give them an introduction of who you are and some of the work that you have, put forth to not only just to Michigan, but nationally, internationally, right? Give them a background briefing about who you are.
Well, my name is Michael L. Matthews, and born and raised in Saginaw, Michigan, and I moved to Detroit to join Motown. And during my travels there, I was able to get into the theater business and toured more plays in more cities than any playwright in the country and the nation. And I came back back in the years ago when I casted a play here called Mama Don't that toured over 100 cities. And from then I've hired, I've had everybody from Regina King to New Edition and whoever you can imagine have been in my theater plays. So I've had opportunity from the 80s to the early 2000s to tour theater plays, and then in the latter part of the early 2000s, I started learning the television and film industry. So I'm here back in the Flint area. I lived in Los Angeles for a while. I worked with some of the biggest people in the business. Worked with Dick Clark, doing a movie presentation with Spielberg, and I worked with some of the top producers in the country. And so now I'm home. The Lord blessed me to meet a wonderful woman here from Flint. And so I decided not to leave. So that happened. Glad about it too. And I found my queen, and she's also an educator, a writer. And so we started a company called Pop Entertainment. And so we just finished our first movie and got picked up by Sony, and it's called Fake Friends. And that should be out sometime this year on some of the platforms, the Tubi's, Peacocks, HBOs, and so on. So what I'm now doing, I want to inspire other writers in this area to develop their craft, develop projects, create kind of more or less a factory. Michigan is known for factories, of creating situations where a line of product.
That's right.
So we want to be able to empower individuals to be able to be motivated behind the scenes, in front of the camera, behind the camera, as a writer, and develop and show them how it doesn't have to be localized. You want them to be able to stretch their wings and be able to be national, international, and because of the market the way it's set up now, the opportunities are there now. Because of the streaming opportunities out here, you could create 100 movies today and need another 100 tomorrow because of the demand. And so it's a viable future for the young artists. All they need is individuals that are willing to sow into them and willing to show them how. We don't hear in Flint. We can take this and take it to a level that nobody. This could be the next African American Hollywood.
I like that.
Come on with it. Come on with it.
And we're in a great position to do that. Hollywood. They haven't really been, I would say, fair to the African American, but they tolerate us and they give us work from time to time. But it's nothing like creating your own, and because of the demand of product. You don't have a hard time. If you put together good product, there's an opening for you.
Yes, sir.
There's a light for you. There's opportunity for you. And I'm in a position. My thing now is legacy.
Yes, sir.
I've lived a good life. I've been everything and done everything in the industry. So now it's about giving back and empowering someone other than myself to be able to go on and build a career. And so the next year, I don't know how much time I got left here on whatever I got. And with two things I'm really going to do, give God everything I got and try to be a blessing to somebody other than myself.
I respect
preach, brother, preach.
That's what my life is. I've accomplished so many things. The Lord blessed me with one of the greatest things to find a mate that believes in me, whether I'm up or down. My health is right, or health ain't good.
That's right.
So I'm a blessed man in every area of my life. So I think now my whole goal is to give back and to be able to see my visions of what I've accomplished, being able to go on through someone else. So.
No, I think, and let's tap into that, right? So we appreciate, man, just such rich history that you have had, and just actually a successful career.
Oh,
right?
Yes.
And just coming from, Michigan, right? Born in Saginaw, coming up here through Flint, right? Working in Detroit, which has a lot of different entertainment opportunities. Flint has a lot of talent here in the city, right?
Yeah.
So whether you're writing scripts or, you're producing film, you're doing video production, you're acting, right? I really can see Flint as being like a mecca, like even our artists, right? When you're talking about doing scores for movies and playwrights, right? To be able to express your art and then get it out there on the major forefront, I think that is major for the city. And then also that brings and creates a new opportunity.
Yes, it does.
And so with us being, when Detroit had his wave, right? Now you see Flint creating his own wave, right? What does that look like as it relates to the film industry, Flint being an entertainment city, right? Being a mecca for Black entertainment. What does that look like, seeing that you have seen this before umpteen times in different communities?
What it does is creates a feeling of equality, a feeling of pride within yourself, of saying that you can accomplish something that most people can only dream about. When I was coming up in Saginaw and Flint and stuff, I never dreamed that I'd go on to be able to have plays in every major market, and I would be in the presence of great people like Oprah Winfrey and Denzel, and then get a chance to sit down with Tyler Perry, ask me how I did this and did that, So I had an opportunity to see it firsthand. And I seen how LA gravitated to Atlanta for the African American. So there's no reason for Atlanta not to gravitate to Flint. All they need is a pioneer that's willing to share their gifts. I mean, it's so wonderful here because there's not a lot of competition. There's an eagerness, people to want to learn. All they have to do is have somebody and something that they can truly believe in. So many people that are frauds and make a lot of promises and all this and don't really have the goods.
That's right.
You see, so
I agree with you on that.
I'm in a position that I got the goods. I mean, I know this business. I've given my life. I left Saginaw in 1970 because I wanted to. My plans had changed, but when I left here in 1970, I wanted to be famous. That's all. I wanted to meet Barry Gordy, The Temptation, and I left town. Lord bless me. My mom got hired at the hospital down in Detroit, and I followed her there in the 12th grade.
Come on now.
And she wasn't there 6 months, and she went on back to Saginaw to be back with her husband. I wasn't leaving.
They were pumping out the hits and all that.
I made up my mind. I came to, Lord bless me, to get to Detroit. Right. I wasn't leaving here till I got what I was looking for.
Absolutely.
Now I had an opportunity to. I was walking down Chicago Boulevard,
West Side,
and I just graduated from high school, and I really didn't have a place to stay, but some people let me stay with them, and I was walking down Chicago, and there was some guys singing near Dexter. You probably might not know, but Dexter Avenue was a pretty well-known African-American street in Detroit.
I know Dexter. I played on Dexter.
Yeah. And some guys were singing, and they were the opening act for The Temptation. Oh, wow. And I didn't know that at the time, but I was walking down the street and heard them singing, and I went to holler, and I put the apartment, hey,
right.
I can sing, man, I can sing. Can I sing for y'all?
That's right.
And then they laughed, they looked out the window and laughed. They come on up.
Yeah. I
came on up, and they say, man, well, sing.
Right. Come on the spot.
And I sung this song called "If Loving You Is Wrong."
I don't want to be.
They say, oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. Now the lead singer, Richard Street, had just been chosen to take Otis's place in The Temptation. Yeah. So there was an opening in the group.
The Temptation?
No. It was opening group in The Temptation, and Richard Street went with them. But so he was the lead singer of this group, and they had a big song out called "Greetings, This Is Uncle Sam." And it was a big hit, and they was the opening act for The Temptation.
Okay.
And I came in, I said, man, yeah, you can do it. But, little did I know they needed more than a person that could just sing.
That's right.
I didn't know that, though.
Okay.
So they took me over to Barry Gordy. Man, I had never been so excited in my life. They took me to Barry Gordy's house, and they told Barry, never forget, the guy named Larry Allen was the manager. He said, hey, man, Barry, we got somebody we think can make this happen for us. Yeah. And so Barry goes, yeah, got good luck, little fella. He say, sing. I sang the same song. He said, yeah. Sing, little brother. He say, well, say here in Motown, you got to be a triple threat. Triple threat.
What is that? Sing, dance, and write?
Sing, dance, background.
Okay. So you need to be able to step back.
You got to be able to step. You got to be able to harmonize. Right. And you got to be able to sing lead.
You got to be able to do all three if you want to be a member of Motown.
Yes. He was the kind of guy didn't accept nothing less. Yeah. Now, I made it as a lead singer.
Come on now.
Right. But in Saginaw, man, I ain't never been in no real group, that did steps and background. Nobody ever asked me to really background because, they wanted Mike, because it wasn't nobody in Saginaw at the time. It was me and a guy I grew up with named L.J. Reynolds. Me and him grew
Hold
up
on,
together.
I know. I heard this name. I know this.
It's
L.J. Reynolds.
L.J.
My
Reynolds
pops
was the
told me
lead
about
singer,
L.J.
came
Reynolds.
and took the place of Ouija in the Dramatics.
Yeah, my pops
That was
told me
LJ?
about L.J. Reynolds.
L.J. Reynolds. Me and him
Okay.
grew up
Yeah,
together
okay.
in Saginaw,
In
Michigan.
Saginaw.
We lived in the projects, and we used to walk to school every day battling. Me and him every day growing up together.
Now, you know, one thing that I did appreciate that the brothers did back in the day, like when they'd be on the street corners, right? They'd be blowing, they'd be getting to it, right? I thought that was just amazing, right? Just kind of like how we used to come up freestyling on the streets, freestyling on the stoop, right, at school and things of that nature. But folks that come around and see you, snatch you up, and take you to Berry Gordy, or take you to a studio, or take you to some other group and be signed. I thought that was major back in the day.
Yeah, because LJ, me and him we had said, he said, man, well, I'm gonna go to New York, Mike. I said, I'm going to Detroit. I'm at Detroit. He said, nah, if we don't make it in a couple of years, we're gonna meet back in Saginaw. We're gonna put our own group together. So during that time, he was in New York singing with a group called Chocolate Syrup. They had a big hit out. So
Chocolate Syrup.
Yeah, that was the name of his group in New York.
Syrup.
Yeah, Chocolate Syrup.
Yeah.
And they was good. But Dramatics was in New York, and he was out in the. They was having problems with Ouija, and he was out in the alley behind Apollo.
Who, LJ?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And when they came out,
Apollo Theater.
yeah, they came out. This is a story he told me. He came out and he just went to sing. They knew all their songs.
Okay.
And they sang it, and they say, man, come on, man. You say, come on. Let's go. Squirrel say, come on, man, let's go. And so they put him in the group.
Just like that.
Yeah, and then they came back to Detroit, and he asked me, Mike, they lost 2 or 3 other guys, a couple other guys, and they asked me, Mike, we want you to audition with the Dramatics with us. Well, by that time, I mean, we in our early 20s now. Mm-hmm. So, I said, no, man, I got a job at Ford Motor Company. I'm selling real estate. I'm doing well.
You got your foot in the game.
Because Berry Gordy had broke my spirit for singing, because I would be back to that story. Mm-hmm. He told me, he said, no, I want to see how you can dance. I want to see how your background. I couldn't do it, man. They was all the Temptation, all of them was sitting up in the room, man. And I couldn't
pressure though.
Yeah, man. I couldn't keep them. These guys was pros, man.
And on top of that, they was grown. They was grown.
And so I couldn't keep up with the background. I couldn't dance. So I went to the bathroom. I was in tears. I was wiping my face. I came back in, and Berry Gordy, he said, "Man, you're a good singer, young brother." Yeah. He said, "But you ain't more time material. So you keep practicing." Man, I quit singing behind that.
So was Marvin around then?
All of them was there. I'm talking about it was just like, man, Stevie, all of them. Stevie gave me a play because he's from Saginaw. I know his mom and them.
Steve from Saginaw.
But when I was already, Larry Allen got me in, but they opened up a door for me. And after that, man, I quit singing, man. All together. I said, no, man, because that was my whole purpose of coming to Detroit, to meet Berry Gordy. And he broke my spirit right then. And so I quit singing, and I got into real estate. I went back to school, and I went to Wayne Community, Wayne State, and I met a boy named Wayman, and he ended up being, when he graduated from college, he went to New York and got the starring role in Dreamgirls. Okay. And that's how I ended up getting into the play. But I was able to, I was working at a radio and TV station called WGPR. And me and a guy named Nat Morris and RJ Watkins, and we started a TV show called The Scene and the new dance show and all that kind of stuff. We was hot in the firecracker.
Dance was hot. I remember that back.
Hot in the firecracker, man. And so, when LJ and it came to us, I said, oh, man, I don't want to do all that no more, man, because they had broke my heart. Berry Gordy broke my heart, man, because I from a kid, I'm talking about from 10 to 12 years old, other kids be out playing basketball and stuff.
But you was there with the legends of the game and Motown.
But I seen all of them drop their heads and say, no, he ain't got it, man. I saw all that. That right there, man, broke. I know I could sing. I know it can sing. Wasn't no doubt about that.
Mm-hmm.
But what's so
Okay.
funny? But I'm gonna tell you
Okay.
how the end of that story went with me and Barry.
Go ahead, my brother.
I had made it big in that play game. Like I say, my friend Wayman came in. He came in the first showing of Dreamgirls, the national show. They had Jennifer Holiday. He came in the studio with Jennifer Holiday, Cheryl Lee Ralph, the girl that played Bill Cosby's wife, and all that.
Played Felicia Rashad.
Yeah, all of them came down, and he was walking down the hall. Now, wasn't none of them famous yet.
Right. That's how it be.
And so he saw me. He said, Mike. I said, Wayman. And we hugged him up. He said, I said, man, what you doing? I thought you was in the. He said, yeah, man, I got picked up for this Broadway show, man. It's touring the world, man. He said, Mike, I want you to come to the show.
That's right.
So me and some of the Chapter 8 group, we all went down to the.
Some of the Chapter 8 group?
Yeah, we all
went
down.
Be up here in Flint at the Pieces of Rock?
Yeah,
at
we
the
all
Jolly
went
Six
down
and
to
all that?
Yeah, because me and all us went to high school and stuff together. I went down to Detroit. And we all went to the play. And I said, man, watch the show, man. I said, man, I can do this. So after the show, I went behind stage. I saw my man Wayman. I said, Wayman, man, I can do this. Because I was a songwriter. I wrote songs. But that's all I ever did, man. I ain't played basketball for none of that. I had my mama that put me in the basement, and I put old mattresses around there. So, because I was singing,
you soundproofed your own room.
Man, that's what I wanted to do. And so, so when I went backstage, I said, wait a minute, I want to do this here, man. I can do this here. So as soon as I said that, the director of theater from the University of Detroit walked by. And Wayman said, hey, man, no. What you mean, my man Mike? He want to do this. He said, yeah, okay. He said, I say, give me a card. Give me a card. I said,
so you saw Wayne, you seen the director
of University of Detroit.
USD.
You was interested in film writing.
In playwright.
Okay.
And so he invited me to his office over at University of Detroit. It was off of 6 Mile. And
that's Detroit Mercy, right?
Right. And I went on over there, and he talked to me, told me what to do, and blah, blah, blah. And I wrote my first play. Called Wicked Ways. That bad boy blue. And so I messed around with 4 or 5 years doing a little zigzag off Flint. And then I did my next play called Mama Don't. I casted it here and sold the Whiting out.
Okay.
Whiting Auditorium.
Sold the Whiting out. And then I went to do the music hall. And then so I got the boy from
what was it? Mama Don't Play?
It was called Mama Don't. Talisha was in
Mama
that.
Don't.
Talisha. Yeah, Talisha was in that. And Prince and all of them came to the play.
Oh, Prince?
And Prince,
you know it's a hit when Prince comes.
Heavyweight
came
right there.
That guy named Quentin Perry and Billy Sparks, they was his managers.
Okay.
And then they said, hey man, you got some, brother. And they said, yeah, okay. And next thing I know, man, a few months later, I was touring every African American city in America. Wow. I casted, had the Clark sisters, Rand Salad, and I had a star-studded cast, and I was knocking the doors down.
Come on,
and then
man.
I came back with Wicked Ways, and that bad boy took off, man. That's when Dick Clark and Spielberg and all of them came at me, man. And
he said, hold on, listen to what he said. He said, Dick Clark and Spielberg.
Oh, yeah.
Let's come on
I was with Barry Rosenthal. He was the biggest guy in entertainment. He the one started everybody, Fresh Prince, all of them, man.
Who was he?
Named Barry Rosenthal. He started Comcast TV and all that kind of, all over the world. He was the biggest. So he took me over to the Duvall family. They was the biggest things in movies, man. Electric Chef.
I've heard of it.
The Duvall family. Okay.
With them. Yeah. So they cast it. We had it in the trade. Me and Spielberg were doing Wicked Ways.
Okay.
And give me $150 million budget for 3 movies.
Bro, you saying Spielberg? That's, do you understand I don't know, our listeners out here. Spielberg. You know what I'm saying? Think about it.
Oh yeah, it was.
It
was a time in my life. I was hot in firecracker out there, man. And
at this time, were you in Detroit or
I was in Los Angeles.
Los Angeles. Okay, so you was out there playing
Hollywood.
with the big boys.
Hollywood.
I was out
Okay,
there, and we had cast. They had me and Stevie Wonder was doing the soundtrack, and Kevin Costner. We had Whitney Houston was gonna make her television movie debut.
Really?
Yeah, I had the hottest. I was the hottest thing in California, man. I was hot in a firecracker. And 10 days before we signed the contract, Barry Rosenthal died of a massive heart attack in Boston.
Dang.
Barry Rosenthal, he was the biggest entertainment attorney in the world, and he came to my play, I think in Philadelphia, and he was there every week. Him and Stevie was going with a girl I had in my play. He was
Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, he was
from Saginaw. From Saginaw. Come on now.
He was dating this girl named Akusa Busia. And she played Nettie in The Color Purple.
Oh, she played.
That was the sister, right?
In The Color Purple, she played. Say it again.
Whoopi's sister and Nettie.
Yeah,
I remember Nettie. Yeah.
The one who was telling Whoopi that you don't need to deal with him no more.
Stevie was going with her.
Oh,
Man.
Okay.
And Oprah was in the movie too. Y'all know that too.
Oprah got a hot in the movie too.
Harpo.
Oprah
Who was
Oprah was fine in that movie.
in that movie?
Yeah, she was.
She was
pretty girl. You know the guy. She was in love with Harpo at that particular time. But he was into something else. White girl. He was a nice.
He was trying to get killed.
He missed that opportunity. That was a great opportunity.
He thinking about it now.
I know he thinking about it now.
I think Stedman got it right, though. That's what I was saying.
Stedman got it right. He was able to create.
You don't even see Stedman though.
In the backdrop.
You don't need to.
That's where he need to be.
Stedman the coolest brother on the set.
Yeah, he got he benefited great. He benefited great. So while that time was going on, man, they had a big dinner for Lou Gossett out there.
Lou Gossett Jr. Come on now, man. Yeah. One of my favorite actors of all time is Lewis. Lou. Yeah, so shout out to Lou.
Yeah, I got invited to they had a dinner honoring him.
Okay.
And I got invited to it, and lo and behold, 2 tables over, Barry Gordy was sitting there. Oh man, I got excited. I said, Barry Gordy sitting over there. I said, I quit watching what was going on, watching this. So when he got up, Barry got up and went to the bar. I got up too.
I would have done the same thing.
I say, I got on the table. I say, hey, Mr. Gordy.
Right.
He said, hey, young brother. Yeah. He said, man, I don't know if you remember me or not. But I came to your house on Isle of Drive with your friend Larry Allen. And I sung the song, Loving You Was Wrong, I Don't Want to Be Right. He looked at me and said, that was you? I said, yeah, that was me. He said, you know what he told me? He said, you ever learn how to dance?
They went through a groove about that.
Sharp as a tack.
Yeah.
Did you ever learn how to dance?
And he say, you must be somebody to be in this room.
Yeah.
He said, what's your name? I said, Michael Matthews. He said, I heard of that. I heard of you.
Yeah.
He said, what you do? I said, I'm a playwright. Yeah, I heard of you, man. He said, you're doing quite well.
Come on now.
He said, you're doing quite well. He said, yeah, man.
Never give up.
He said, I just want to remind you. He said, what you going to do? I said, I'm going to create me a gospel Motown. He said, what?
That was interesting.
Next thing I know, him and BB1 started a Motown. But I got an opportunity, man, to see somebody that I spent my whole life admiring. And got an opportunity to show him that I didn't give up.
Right.
Maybe I gave up at trying to sing.
Yeah.
But I never gave up with a dream of being successful in the entertainment industry. And God placed me in a position. And I'm so much happier that pretty much that happened to me because a lot of the guys that I knew, they had successful careers with Motown and different things, but a lot of them ended up pretty much with nothing. I mean,
there was a lot of that going on.
Then they have their rights, then they have their royalties and
Barry
everything.
Gordy did them wrong. Then he created a opportunity for them.
And you got to make good.
You got to make good on your opportunity, man.
That's right.
Barry Gordy created a situation where them boys ate the rest of their life.
And they was eating during their career. They was eating real serious.
Real serious, right? A lot of times you got to look past what's going to happen when you become older, when you can't dance and you can't sing.
That's right.
You can't.
That's right.
Well, have you took that money and made investments? You bought into real estate. I mean, you created something that can sustain you when you can't do that anymore.
I gotta ask you a question though, because off the subject, did you ever meet Tammy Terrell?
I never met Tammy Terrell. I met David Ruffin.
Okay.
But I never met Tammy Terrell.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I even hired a few of the Temptations to be in my play. I ended up hiring Richard Street.
Who left the group first time.
Yeah, the Joint Temptation. I ended up hiring Ollie and all of them boys to be in my plays. I hired 3 or 4, but I had hired a lot of everybody at that particular time. I mean, I can't turn on TV and I see somebody at that.
So my question right now is,
I do want to kind of chime in on what you were saying, because you got folks, saying like when you talking about believing in dreams, like I do respect, like when you said like you tried to sing, well you can sing, and you went forth your dream with trying to perform, but it didn't work out for you, but you stayed consistent. Right? You wanted to have a career in the entertainment industry, and this goes out to everybody who has dreams of being in the entertainment industry, who has dreams just period, that want to follow your purpose. It's always about staying consistent, and I think when you talking about your story, that's what I get from that. I feel the consistency, right? Just always staying focused, always being in the right places at the right time, always connecting and putting your product and merchandise or vision out there so people can see, right? Yes, and I think that's resonating with people. So I wanted to make sure we hone in on that, man. And always say, man, never give up on your dreams, right? Never give up on life, just period. Right? You never know who you might be sitting next to. No. You might never know what type of room you may be getting called into or invited to, right? And you never know what can happen if you stay on your grind. So, man, that's motivational.
Oh yeah,
right?
Oh yeah, man.
I definitely reckon with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
a lot of folks they key in on that.
Yeah, because you can't. You got to first believe in yourself, believe in God, and God said He will bring you in the presence of great men.
Come on,
He'll honor your gift if you honor Him.
That's right.
So and then He will direct your path, order your steps. So that's one thing. I got out of all of this throughout the things that happened in my life, man. That because I decided to serve the Lord, He has opened up every door and continues to open up doors. I'm getting ready to turn 70 years old in a few weeks, and 70 years old, man.
First of all, let's stop right there, bro. If I had looked at you on the streets, I'd have thought you was about 58, 59.
Yeah.
I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious.
When I put that just for me, they might think I'm 45.
They go with it.
I thank God, man.
You dropped 2 or 3.
Easy. Yeah,
God is good all the time. God is good all the time.
Don't even get the Beijing. Come on, man. Always stay strong.
Stay strong.
The moment I get grades, baby, that's it.
This brother just told us he would be how old?
70. Yeah,
70?
Turn 70 in a few weeks, man.
In a few weeks. 70?
Yeah, 70,
man. Come on, man.
And my wife turned 60, man, and man, I'm telling you, it was just a few weeks ago. The guy came up and told me, man, your daughter sure is gorgeous. I said, thank you, my brother. God bless you. God bless you, man.
Right.
Yeah, so I look at it like this. So now, at my age and what I've had opportunity to experience, it's all about giving it to somebody else. I can't take it with me.
Yes, sir.
I can't take it with me. Not trying to help somebody else is not the way to live, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got to be a blessing to somebody else that God might bless that. You know, like he said, build your treasures in heaven.
Absolutely.
Seek ye first him, and he'll give you everything else, man. He didn't give me everything, man. I in my whole life, man, the only thing I really ever lacked was a good woman. And I never knew the importance of how important a real helpmate is.
Mm-hmm.
But these last 20 years of my life, man, I've had a helpmate. I've had a friend. And one of the reasons I'm into this movie thing is because, you know, I want to leave something for my kids. Generational wealth.
Generational wealth.
And not only that, I want to be able to bless some other families to be able. So that's why I never knew why God brought me here. I never knew that because I was doing fine. I was living in Florida, doing well, living in a mansion on the water. You know, never understood.
Come on, now.
Well, he brought me back here.
Come on.
But I found my greatest peace here. I found my greatest joy here. And now I'm willing to give all that I have to somebody else for free. I ain't looking for nothing. I'm trying to give something back. And I thank God for that opportunity because there's so many people that ain't gonna want to give you nothing. Don't want to share nothing with you. And I own. You don't want to see you flourish. You don't want to clutch on to everything like you getting ready. I ain't never seen no U-Haul following no hearse.
Exactly. You can't take it with you.
That's some vital information though when you're talking about.
You can't
I
take
think
it
you're
with you.
saying you found your helpmate, right? And that's you know, especially in the world of today. You know what? Relationships are very, very light right now. Like people don't take them serious.
Right.
And like you might be with a woman today and then you with another woman tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Or you don't see a future with each other, right?
Yeah.
And I understand when you're saying that, man. You have to have that counterpart in your life, man. That's gonna help build and support the vision and follow the dream together.
Man.
If you don't got that, man, you out here on your own and you're missing some things.
It's the blueprint. It's the blueprint of. It is the blueprint of everything, every fabric and being of what society has ever been.
You gotta
that is the blueprint. Through slavery and through modern times and through the days that we're living in right now, that is the blueprint. When you find that one, you need to hold on to her and let her know how much you really care about her and you love her and do whatever it takes to
look
make
at what
that
God
work.
say, man. He say, he who finds a wife, he didn't say he who finds a woman. She got to be a wife even before you marry her.
Right.
She has
Come on now. I hope you ladies listen to that. Listen, you got to be a wife before you get married, right? You don't get to be expecting to get married, right?
And
you
then
ain't
become a wife.
You ain't doing wifely duty.
He said, he who finds a wife finds a good thing.
Yes.
You know, she got already ingrained in her mind to be a wife. To be a good woman, be faithful.
Yes.
Be loyal, be a helpmate, be there.
Yes.
That's the difference.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can't, these women out here want to hang out, be married and hang out with their single girlfriend. You're wrong.
You're wrong. I see you, sis. I see you, sis, out there.
You know, they don't tell you that, how to please a man that they ain't got, so
right, it's always the single lady trying to tell everybody else what they
They ain't got a boo at all. They ain't got no fiance.
Right.
Yeah, all the
brothers, when you find you a good one, man, listen, you better hang on right.
Yeah,
right?
leave them other brothers and the straight brothers.
Man,
sometimes you just got to cut people loose, man.
I respect that.
Even if you love them, even if you care about them, and even if you still love them after the fact.
Yeah.
But you got to put some distance between
You got to put some distance in between.
You got to.
Man. So that's why I'm here in Flint, Saginaw, looking for talent, looking for somebody I can bless. Looking for some actors, looking for some
singers.
Nah, but not so much singers.
What I'm saying can sing in the play.
You know with all that.
Somebody can hold a note. I mean, in your play, there's no singing in There's no singing in your play.
No. Well, if I do plays,
you write scripts.
Write scripts, and want to be producers and stuff like that.
About the people.
No, man. If I do plays, if I do plays, man, I go on a whole broader network of talent. I ain't unless you just amazing.
Right.
I'm going out there and get lettuce seeds and all them kind of people that sing in my play.
But if
We
you
might
hear
have to
that
we
one,
might have to get them brothers back on the corner, man. You know what I'm saying?
You got to go there. Got to go there.
Doing the best move, right?
You got to go there, man. So, but part of singing, no, that's not really my thing, man. You know what I mean?
Love Train.
Yeah.
When that came out, Love Train.
I remember.
If you got that special, remember the special?
Yeah, I was out there in it, man. You know, I was out there in it, man. I got opportunity to work with some of the best.
You don't need no ticket to ride.
Right.
Matter of fact, man, I had Eddie LeVert's sons in my show.
Oh, really?
You know? Yeah.
Oh, really?
Matter of fact, his daughter, Sean Quetta, handled my administration for some of my tours.
Okay.
You know, so, you know, Sean and all them, they were, the two brothers, they were in my shows.
So you just brought up an interesting conversation, but have you ever seen a man pass their voice down to a kid the way that Mr. LeVert passed it down to Eddie LeVert? Have you ever seen that transformation before?
Oh no, because
he literally
the same voice, man.
he gave his vocal cords to his son.
Yeah, his son.
I've
man.
never seen that before ever, man.
But I had opportunity to work with all those guys, man, and work with some of the best singers in the world. You know, my spiritual father was Rance Allen, and heart when he passed away a couple of years ago, just broke my heart, man. And so
that was a loss.
Yeah, and he toured in Mama Don't End Wicked Ways for me, the Clark sisters and some of the Hawkins, and some of the best singers in
you tickling my
all that singers in
the names
in the world.
You've been in the presence of all these people.
Before we get back into it, I just want to switch it up with folks are saying. So y'all know that Trump finally got indicted. Right?
Yeah, I heard that.
Right, in New York.
Can't do nothing to Trump.
Do you really think there's something going to take place this time?
I do not.
I think you got to make it better. I ain't even gonna hold
you. Might make it, man.
If you don't deal with it, right, it's gonna be a whole aftermath.
But you know what's gonna happen? He's gonna be running in 2024 against Joe Biden. That's what I see.
I'm gonna ask that question too, Eric. I see you on there.
I see that he's gonna be right. I see that.
I don't think, man. Nevertheless, I don't think he's gonna be able to get past this one.
I don't either. I think this is just the tip that's gonna break over everything. Once they indict him and come at him, it's gonna be a lot more people unafraid of him.
And then it's gonna open up the doors for other things.
Right. Now, whoever run against Joe Biden, he got a good chance of winning anyway, man. Because the brother is aged.
He about 170.
He aged, and then not only that, you know, the economy is suffering under his
leadership.
You know,
under
his leadership.
I would have to agree, man.
I mean, I support him, but you know, it's some things that I don't know, man. If they about money themselves sometimes,
right? You know that
whether Democrat or Republican, sometimes it's just about money. Because man, I ain't never known gas to be almost $4 in Michigan.
I got to say too,
when I started driving,
you think that black people always got to vote Democrat? Like I understand man. I understand. Hold on, let's put this out there. I understand that we talk about being Democratic.
Yes,
but do we always have to vote Democrat? And then, man, you know, when is it gonna be enough in us to be able to, you know, maybe develop our own party system?
I don't know, man. I just trust. I'm voting for God, man, because the way I look at it, man.
I respect that.
The way I look at this, the whole situation, whether all of them have their demons that they associate in their agenda. They got an agenda. You know, Democrats. You know, I mean, they let that homosexuality in there strong. You know, they talking about,
we can't watch a TV show without it happening.
Playing on female teams and swimming and everything else. And then the Republicans, they'll hang you. You know, so what's the difference, man? You know,
And then if I'm not mistaken, back in the 60s, the Republicans was the Democrats, and the Democrats was the Republicans.
That's what I'm saying.
So man, you know,
Lyndon B. Johnson said that his whole message was to make sure that black people get a little bit of power, right? Just a little bit, just enough to keep you content, but then also not enough to make a difference.
Not enough to make a difference.
They gonna vote.
So that's what they're gonna do.
The same way for the rest of your life.
I mean, I looked at that meeting that we were at last night.
I saw it too, man. I saw it.
Are y'all familiar with the show Godfather of Harlem?
Expand on that too about that yesterday, right? When you had a situation like that at Tennessee County.
I mean,
that was ridiculous.
You get up there and you talk for 2 minutes. Ain't nobody listening to what you say. You're radical. You're calling people racist and all. That don't mean nothing to them because at the end of the day, they got the power to vote who they want in, and that's what they do. And then when we get an opportunity to stick together, we don't.
Yeah.
When we got an opportunity to control the narrative, we don't.
Right.
You know, we get
historically
we get bamboozled. You know, I don't know what they're offering, what they're getting behind closed doors, but whatever it is, it keeps us separate. It keeps us from having any real power.
So, talk about that. Talk about the bus boycott way back in the day, and how many days did it take for that point was received?
I mean, hitting around the nose, we have to stay consistent. So just like the Montgomery bus boycott, what they did was stick together. They unified.
Yes.
And their whole mission was to cripple the transportation system in the South.
Yeah.
So what they had to do is everybody stop riding the bus. It's one simple message, like don't ride the bus.
Ever.
Even if we have to sacrifice to walk to the office, walk to our job, walk to children's school,
whatever
walk to appointments, we're gonna walk, right? We're not gonna ride no bus, period. And that was just the mission. Everybody
carpool or whatever.
We're gonna carpool, everybody bought in. So what they did was them folks in the South recognized that, right? They was losing so much money by not having black people on them buses that they had to bend to the roots of what people want.
So what?
That's how we got to be strong.
So what if for just 1 week we didn't buy no gas from no gas stations? The black people total in the whole America just for 1 week to prove a message we didn't buy gasoline.
We got to be consistent.
If we didn't, you know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying though? If we didn't do that, for 1 week. I mean, come on. If we didn't buy no gas,
even if we supported the brother who made the engine that operated off of water, right?
Yeah,
you know they killed the brother. But if we supported that mission right there, right, and invested into that, it'd be a different chance.
They killed who?
They killed the brother.
The brother that made water that operates.
It was a black man who made an engine that operates not off of oil or gasoline. It operated off water. So what happened was, right, they silenced the brother, right? Mm-hmm. You know, that is off the market. Think about this. Think about if you undercut the oil, right? Yeah. How much money is made off of gasoline? How much money is made off of oil, the trade and the export of oil in different countries? If you was able to undercut that and create a new pipeline for revenue using water, which is all around us, right? You change the game.
Everybody
pull up to their house with water fountain and get water, right? Yeah. And be gassed up. Yeah. Or oiled up or watered up.
Yeah, they be tripping the price on that water, baby. They don't figure out a way to
tax you.
Dr. Sabi's wife called me a few months ago.
Oh, sure. How's she doing?
She's doing good, man. She down there in Florida.
Shout out to Dr. Sabi's wife. And shout out to the Sabi family.
Yeah, she wanted me to help her write a movie on her life and what she goes.
You should. You out there? I heard Nipsey Hussle was writing a script before he passed.
Yeah. So they called me, but like I told them, like I said, man, I before I get involved with something, I have to do my due diligence about what I'm getting involved in because they didn't care too much for that family. And I really don't have an interest in being attacked for somebody else's problem. And then a lot of times when you're dealing with documentaries, man, you got family members and all this other stuff, man, that ain't agreeing to what you're writing and all that. So it can get messy, man.
It can get real messy.
Real messy. And at this time in my life, man, I want peace. I want peace with my life, man. I want to be able to help somebody. I want to be able to help somebody have financial wealth and be able to carry on with their life.
Very understandable.
I get offers all the time about people to do projects and stuff like that. But every dollar to me ain't a good dollar. I mean, I don't use foul language in my work. I don't use no real nudity, because I don't want to, I don't want to show a woman just being used in that way. I mean, I'm like Marvel. I shoot up a lot of people. I kill you.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. But I ain't gonna cut you out, and I ain't gonna show all your behind parts and all that kind of stuff.
I want to ask this question.
It's PG-13.
He said, "Do you recall a guy named Greg Thomas?"
Greg Thomas, I remember Greg Thomas.
He did a lot of production manager for a lot of plays and concerts.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So Eric, he does recall Greg Thomas. I think Eric Thomas was saying that he worked alongside with him as well in a lot of those productions.
Yes. Okay. Yes. A lot of brothers were had opportunities that were able to go on to higher heights in the industry. And so many of them came through my camp and was able to create a lifestyle and create relationships that are feeding them today. So I remember when I met the little girl, it was 4, 5 sisters. I was in LA, and they came to me. They was called the Atkins sisters. It was the Atkins sister, and they was like 15, 14, 15, 17, 18, and 19. Well, on the road, I couldn't take kids, so I took the 2 girls, the 2 oldest girls, and it was, and they were good singers. They were great singers, but they wasn't strong as some of the singers that I had on the road, but they were good. And so I put them together as a duet and let them sing together. And they end up becoming with a group called Mary Mary.
Oh, Mary, the gospel group? Mary?
Yeah.
So they end up singing background for them or something like that?
No, they joined my plays.
Oh, okay.
And they sung background, and then I would create duets for them to sing on stage.
Mary.
Yeah, for them, because it was a bunch of, it was Eric Dawkins, Melvin Moore. I mean, I had some of the best singers in there.
Have you ever met Yolanda Adams? Have you ever met her?
Yeah, man.
So she's to me, she's the Whitney Houston of the gospel world.
Yeah, she's a great singer, man. When I lived I put a show together in Houston, Texas, and that's where she's from.
Okay.
And the guy that was her musical director and writer, we always went to the same church, and when nephew Tommy came and joined.
Nephew Tommy,
he just got out of college, man. And, Adams, she never was in a play.
So Ricky Smiley and all of them, right?
Well, I never met Ricky Smiley. Never met. My brother. Well, a lot of people in my camp end up working for Steve Harvey. So I met some of those guys. But man, in this industry, you meet everybody, because if you're hot, you're hot, dog.
If you're not,
I want to bring this back to Shantae. So Shantae asks, she would love to get more information and/or details about getting involved in the films that are coming out.
Yeah, if she can get some information to you, you can get it to me, and I'll get it to one of my directors, and we'll invite her to one of our auditions, because we're getting ready to cast the movie. She Belongs to Me right here in Flint. And so we're going to start trying to prepare to shoot that.
She belongs to me.
She belongs to me. So so we're looking for cast members right now. So
she put this on here right now.
Yeah, so if they're interested, we're looking. They get to you, they can get to me, and so they'll be able to submit something, because I'm trying to get Brother Robson one of them parts in the movie, and so we can move forward and do this thing. Because, like I said, man,
Robert, you ready?
I'm ready. Listen, I did too. I got 2 films under my belt right now.
I know that. You ain't showing that.
I was in Stone, Robert De Niro, Ed Norton. I played played. Actually, we shot at Jackson Prison,
Right.
and then of course, deputies on the yard.
Okay.
I had a little vibe. I was next to the phone when Ed was on the phone, right?
Okay.
Had a spot. I had a place when I was in the lunchroom, right, man. It was a good experience. I think that was my first introduction into being engaged into film, right?
So what I want to ask you though is that while you playing the character that you playing, you said Jackson Prison. I got a whole long line list of people that I know, including a couple of family members that went through this horrible experience that was Jackson Prison. Jackson Prison was like it was a prison first, and then it became like intake. You had to go through Jackson.
I just kind of just drove in. By the time we was there, it was like kind of shut down, right?
Yeah, I understand that.
The thing is though, it was an experience, and like that's a hard day experience. I remember we was out there for like 10 hours, right? When you're in this section and you got to go ahead and get all your shots in at this location, that's what we was doing, right?
Right.
And I kind of got the love for being out there. I kind of got the vibe of it, and it was a cool experience, which kind of led me to politics and street crime, where I had a more stronger role. Actually, ex-gangbanger in terms of political activism. It's crazy. It's a place. But the thing was, man, I had a strong part in that one, and also got some credits too, man. So I still get some residuals off of that, man, every so often. But it's a beautiful thing, man. So I'm excited, man. I come from the music, come from entertainment, and come from trying to get my feet wet in the land. So I'm definitely game and looking forward to any opportunities.
Oh yeah, we want to be able to open up doors. Yeah, I'm looking for people that want to build, want to learn how to direct, produce. People with knowledge already that can be an asset to what we're doing, because it's wide open. It's wide open, and like I said, if we can, like I said earlier, we could create 100 movies today and need 100 movies. That's how open it is. I mean, you look at they gave Tyler Perry pretty much the run of BET, BET Plus, and at one time he wasn't really opening up the door for too many people himself and constituents. But now he has to.
Yeah, he got the parts.
He got to.
I heard that there was a bidding war between Byron Allen and Tyler Perry to reclaim the rights of BET. Is that true?
Well, I don't really know. I know Byron Allen, but he's a power player. He's a power player, and so he's able to do things on network. Perry is a guy that creates product, but like I say, you can create 100 a day, 100 a month. So even though Tyler creates a lot of product, he still don't have enough to keep that. And so he got to open up the door.
You got to open up the doors, man. Stop playing, man. Everybody
they sent me
so much money out here, man.
He just sent me a package of acquisition. What they're looking for? Yeah, I had it with me the other day. I should have showed it to you, but they're creating. They have to open up the door because how many times can you see Medea go to jail?
Walking down the street. Walking.
Right. So I mean,
I watched like one of them, and I was good.
So you have to think in terms of that. So and then he's gone back and got a lot of the Martin, got a lot of the shows previously been on TV. So you think in terms of that. So he needs new product.
You talking? Yeah, I'm about to say, I support, of course, black film. Yeah, I support black film for sure all day, long, man. But I am so sick and tired of Medea. I ain't gonna hold it. I wasn't even trying to do the first time. But nevertheless, man, I am not.
No, we not. We happy that he put
I'm proud of
a
you.
light on us because he's created to let the world at large know that there is.
That's right. You can take the white. Take the white one up. Yeah, you
absolutely
right, man. We always been proper.
Yeah, but nobody they wasn't anxious to show that.
No,
they weren't, just like when you were saying how they boycotted the buses. They always knew that they needed us. But they want to always make you feel like we need them.
Yeah.
And the same thing with black pride. See, black African Americans are consumers.
How much? What we said the other day on the show? How many trillions? Like $1 trillion or something like that. We
spend $1 trillion.
We make the annually. We make the economy rock. So whenever we decide to not, let's say we just see all of your families. Say we decide to see all of your families.
You look at some families, the white families, man, they go out, they'll get 2 or 3 pair of jeans, a couple of shirts, and they'll rock that the whole year. And then they end up buying them a boat.
Right. Man, come on,
man. Not a boat, a yacht.
A yacht. Turn around and buy a cabin and something that's going to make money. But we be done bought 17 pair of shoes,
Jordans,
the silk boots, and get our hair done. And then you pulling up a link to a trailer park. It's certain things.
That's terrible. I ain't even laugh at us. Mindset though.
What he was talking about that you bought, that's assets. That's liquid. Those are assets that if everything go wrong, you still got this yacht. Yeah. You still got this car. You still got these properties, and you're never broke.
You can build on.
Never broke.
We don't do that.
No, let's start doing it.
We don't support each other.
Let's start opening doors for each other. I want to ask you this question too. He said, "Did you help out?" Eric said, "Did you help out with the play a real man? Please stand up."
That was Angela Barrow, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
That was out of Detroit. She was a girl that come out of my camp that worked with me, and most of her crew came out of the camp. But she was Angela Barrow. She was Joe Lewis's niece.
Joe Lewis.
Yeah.
Boxer.
Joe Louis Barrow was his name. And Angela Barrow was his niece. And she was part of my crew. And she did a couple plays that she did that one, and she did another, man, about good girls like Bad Boys. And she was very successful. So one thing about some of them, a lot of them, they have been able to come back and thank me for the knowledge that I shared, because it wasn't me, it was always God. So I always never tried to not share. But I try to help anybody. If I could help you, that's what I would want to do.
Especially if you see something in the person that you know. I mean, regardless if you want to help people, period, but there's certain ones that I know that you see something in them. And you'd be like, okay.
Well, loyalty means a lot to me. Loyalty and respect means a lot to me.
They go hand in hand.
Loyalty and respect means a lot. And that's why you see sometimes when you see executive producers and you see the team, the crew, right? You see certain actors, they always move with each other, right? You know what I'm saying? So we get a production that we got coming up that we want to shoot. I got some real folks that I'm rocking with that I've been supporting, right? I'm continue to open up doors with. That's why you move like that, right? And that's why you always stay loyal to, just loyal to the team. Right? And I've always respected that concept. And I just really hope just us as people, let's always understand how we have to be loyal to each other, how we can support one another. If you ain't in the movie, how you act it, right? How you promote it, right? Those things is value. So we try to talk about doing this thing here in Flint. We talk about how we want to be able to create this Black Mecca, right? You know, but industry here in the city of Flint, and it's gonna take every one of us. It's gonna take people who got the talent. We need to get all that talent. We need to go ahead and cultivate that energy. Let's get it on the screen, right? Then also, it's just not folks who are on camera, but behind the scenes.
You can't have that beast spirit, you know. The five actors, don't get the role I want and all. Get out of here with that.
Yeah, no, real tough. Real tough.
Team play. You might be the star in the next movie.
Or you might be a star behind the scenes.
Or you might be a producer. Don't tell them what. My job is to educate and bring the powers of the city in line with one another to see what the ultimate goal is. Why can't we create 50 films to come out of this area?
Well, we gonna do it.
What's wrong? What's wrong with that?
I mean, why can't
you? Why can't you build it where you're so strong where you can take a crew of people, you can shoot year round, take a crew of people from here to Atlanta and shoot the rest of it. Mm-hmm. You know, you take it where it's warm. You know, you 6 months here, 6 months there. You ain't got to sideline yourself, man. You don't have to sit down and be greedy. See, greed is one of the reasons a lot of African Americans don't make it. Because they're greedy. You know, they want to use unbalanced scales. They want to teach and then brag about it and all of those kind of stuff, man. Right. Where you can flow together, you know, like the locusts. They don't have a leader, but they flow together. You know, so you got to look at that.
They can destroy your crops in a few minutes.
Clean up, guys. Clean up. So you want to work in terms of coming together and allow people to flow in their gift. Mm-hmm. Show people opportunity to flourish. And see, if you have never seen it, how do you believe? You got to be around somebody who can take you there. And I've designed my situation where I know people. See, I don't look at the fact with just what I know. Mm-hmm. You know, I believe in wise counsel. Mm-hmm. I believe in knowing other people that flow in their gifts. Right. You know, and then be able to hook up with them. Yesterday I was talking to this singer. You talk about singers. I was talking with this guy, Dietrich Haddon. You ever heard of Dietrich Haddon? Yeah,
you talking about the young brother? You talking about the brother that be on the show, on the TV?
Dietrich Haddon. Yeah. I talked to him yesterday. He's doing movies.
He in the movies now?
He got about the fifth one putting out. He's gonna come help me with She Belongs to Me. We're gonna rally Detroit together.
Now y'all hear that right now. You got the Tri-Cities, Detroit, Flint, Saginaw, Dietrich Haddon.
Oh, that's this one guy. I'm gonna bring them all in, man. Because once you get it to going, y'all coming, man. Y'all coming because all you need is a person that is not selfish and willing to share the pie. That's right. So I ain't willing. Give me a good slice. I'm happy. My wife good. Exactly. You know, but we all eat. See, when you don't think about others eating, that's when you run it from. Yeah. Right? So you don't care about nobody eating but you.
So we what? Say it again. We all can what?
We all can eat. Right? Everybody come on, brother. And you got to have that mindset where you're. So listen, I was given 24 months, and we're gonna have the second in Detroit. We're gonna have 5. So I've been in the hot for Detroit for 30-some years, man. You know, I can't go nowhere to no event and nothing, and people don't know if I'm there. Gonna say something. Mm-hmm.
I understand,
and then that's good. Accolades is good as long as somebody else can get it. I ain't here to fuck my own chest or fuck my own. Exactly. Mm-hmm. I mean, usually I don't do stuff like this, but I got a need to now to be able to bless somebody else. In order for me to bless somebody else, I got to tell my story. Right. It was a month or so ago from the game, and all they wanted me, big scripters wanted to do a documentary on me. Get all the people that's in. I told them, yeah. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm not unsung. You know, I'm still singing. I ain't unsung now.
I'm just saying.
So like I said, so you can think in terms of don't be so eager, so anxious. The Lord said, be anxious for nothing. So prayer and supplication, make your request known unto God. And that's what I'm about, man. I'm about the Lord, man. That's and what would God would have me to do to be a blessing. That's what I'm all about, man. I done had every kind of car. I lived in every kind of mansion. I done did every famous restaurant. I done did it all. I ain't lacking nothing.
Right.
So why wouldn't I want somebody else to have that benefit? And I got the greatest gift right now. I got a woman, a wife that loved me. See, the last few years of my life, man, I went through some real health challenges.
Okay.
Money don't solve every situation.
No, it don't.
I was in 2018, man. I was walking and I just fell down, and I couldn't get up, man. I was
Had no signs prior to.
No, I had no. Just I was in my church, and I was walking up to the choir stand, and I just fell down. And they thought I was playing, you know. I couldn't get up, man. And they came on and picked me up, and I went to the doctor the next day, and I'm going to the office. I fell down again. Couldn't get up. The doctor helped a friend of mine who's a doctor here in Flint, and helped me up, and they took me to Ann Arbor and said I needed an operation right away. My spinal cord, I had some spurs that was pressing up against my spinal cord and caused me to lose all mobility. So in 30 days, man, I was I still got severe nerve damage. But man, I was paralyzed on one side of my body, man. And they had to have emergency neck surgery. They took out 7% of my neck. You know, most people that they do that to, man, they dead. 70% of my neck, man. And then they put a brace on it, and 12 months later, the screws popped out because I didn't have enough neck. So all of a sudden, I'm falling down again. And so they rushed me back to do another surgery. And that was in 2019. I went on a cruise and fell out in the cruise. And they rushed me. I come back from LA, went straight into, come back from LA on the 5th, had me on surgery on the 9th of December. That was 2019. 2020, they said the screws look like they're coming loose again. Come on, another surgery. She's a prayer warrior. She went to praying, and the doctor all of a sudden said I needed another surgery. Said, well, I'm going to get a second opinion. We get another doctor, and the doctor said, hey, we're not going to bother this for right now. We're going to see. There's a minute. I went to the doctor. I called Brother Robinson today. I had an appointment with that same physician this morning at 11 a.m. He had to take another MRI. He said, you don't need no other operation. Your neck has started to fuse together, and the screws ain't moving. He said, matter of fact, you can come back a year from now, we can double check it. But really, you don't need to come back no more. You tell me how good God is, man.
All the time.
So why wouldn't I want to give whatever I got? Because tomorrow ain't promised. You know, one day I couldn't, like I said, I couldn't walk, man.
I mean, but the point is, when it first happened, and your whole life you've been walking freely and doing all that, and then you drop, and your mind hit up, but you couldn't control.
I couldn't have no.
You couldn't do that. You couldn't do that.
No
So
control of my motor skills.
That's deep. From 1 second to the next.
That's what I'm telling you.
1 second. 1 second drop to the next. Get up. And normally you can get up, right?
Right.
And if it wasn't that situation, but normally you can get up. But from 1 second to the next, not having control of your extremities, which I'm doing all this right now and all that,
I can do that.
you dropped. But you were walking. You were walking physically. And then fell down.
Don't give God all I got, man.
Give God the glory.
Everything. Like I said, man, I sing in the choir if they need me. I'm usher. I'm whatever I can do. Whatever I can do.
Fear that comes along with what you just explained to me You know what I'm saying? I don't, like Dewan said, no signs of anything about to happen. You walking in church and drop it, and they thought that it was a joke.
Yeah, they were
I'm
laughing.
saying it was funny.
Get up, brother.
Not laughing at you
ain't
because
that
it dropped.
old. Shoot, I
But
couldn't
in your
get up.
mind, you telling your mind saying get up, but you couldn't get up.
I
That's
found
so
out.
deep and so scary.
That's when I find out who my wife was carrying me, wash my rear end. She had to drive. She had to do everything.
That's a real wife right there.
Real wife, baby.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm ever indebted to her.
Mm-hmm.
Ever indebted. That's one of the reasons I'm doing these movies. My wife is one of the main actresses.
That's what's up.
So you know, I want to give. I'm gonna the next 24 months. Me and Brother Robert's gonna shake this city up.
Shake it. I'm gonna be right with y'all.
Yeah, we're gonna shake it up.
Scenes, whatever
Shake
it
it up.
takes.
Because it's wide open, man. It's wide open.
I'll be right with y'all on that journey.
Anybody want to come? If you got the skills, you want to work hard, you got some Lord, come see. Like Kicks always say, I'll let you, boy. Because I'm here to be a blessing to somebody else than me. I done had it all. Lost it all. You know what I mean? This world is vicious in this game, man. You know, with the things that they'll do for money, man, is unbelievable, man. How they'll try to crush you, ruin you. You know, man, for $1. No, for $1, man. But all I'm gonna try to do is try to help somebody come up, make their dreams come to reality, just like God did for me. I never thought I'd meet Barry Gordy, but I got to Detroit and did. Got a chance to talk with him in my prime of things. Got a chance to meet some of the biggest stars. Oprah Winfrey come to my show. With people that I admired, like Earth Winfrey, all of them would come into my show, Denzel and all of them back behind. I mean, people that, man,
I pulled up, listen to Earth Winfrey 5.
Yeah, man. So, you know, man, you got pictures where the young brother come to my show he died, man. Did the movie called Snowfall, TV series, and did John Singleton.
Yeah,
come to my place.
I still watch some of his shows
when he did that Boys in the Hood. Come to my show right after he did that.
Right. John died young. John, how old was John? I can't remember.
When he came out, in the early 20s.
When John died, he was. I'm telling you, when he died, John Singleton died. He died
3 or 4 years ago. Married to that girl I was telling you was Steve.
Tupac died at 25.
Yeah, that was his wife when he died.
So Tupac died at 25. John died a decade or two after that.
I mean, Tupac died. All them brothers, Easy, all of them. All of them would come to my show.
MC Breed probably popped up at the window.
John Singleton dead right now.
From Snowball. John Singleton was there for a few years.
About what? 50 or something?
They said he had a heart attack.
In his early, he had to be in his late 40s, early 50s.
Exactly. Late 40s. I'm gonna say late 40s. He died.
He had to be in there.
He had a heart attack.
He had divorced Nettie, and because I saw her, we all went to Bishop Blake Church out there in LA. And so, I had an opportunity to be in the presence of some great, great people.
And you got me trying to pick your brain because I just want to know who you met. You know what I'm saying? Who was the most amazing musician that you met personally? And then, two-part question. And then, who is your favorite when it comes down to music as far as the
best musician I ever met, man, that I thought was just amazing was Billy Preston.
Billy Preston. I don't even know who that is.
Billy Preston was a brother, man. He was a keyboardist, man.
Okay.
And he was one of the biggest keyboardists in the country. He was one shaped the sound for the Rolling Stones.
Oh, so he was
black.
So he was black and he was behind the scenes and don't nobody know about.
He had some big hits too. He had the song called "Will It Go Round in Circles." He had big hits, man. But he too about nobody I had not met, man. You know, one of the greatest people I met as an entertainer was Aretha Franklin.
Okay. Yeah, she was legendary.
Yeah,
And her vocals was unmatched.
oh man,
Aretha vocals was unmatched.
She was, you know, me and my sister
In
still
Detroit,
good friends today.
her daddy was a
That was one
reverend.
of to their church, man. You know, so I got an opportunity, man. I got exposed to some of the biggest people in the business, man.
So Aretha Franklin or Whitney Houston, voice wise.
I go with Aretha, man. Me myself.
I
Whitney
understand.
was a super talent. Now the baddest between them all as far as a singer was
CC Winans. She can sing
Yeah,
Aretha and Whitney at the same time.
Sing them down, Doc.
Sing them down.
He sing them down, baby.
CZ been out
That's
for a long
CZ.
time.
I know CC Winans. I know CC Winans, but
Yeah.
she wasn't in the
She wasn't
in the
saying
gospel unit. She wasn't in the secular
she
unit.
wasn't singing secular music.
Yeah,
She
she
had
wasn't singing secular.
opportunity.
But if
That's
she
what made
sung,
her so
like you
bad.
said, if she sung secular music, that Aretha and Whitney had to take a back.
Oh yeah, she was dynamic. No, you can't take nothing from Whitney. Whitney was a bad
No,
one.
I say that,
A lot of times, man, when you get caught up in them drugs, it takes your talent from you.
We seen that. We seen that with Whitney. It was sad to see.
It takes your gift, man.
It was sad to
Yeah,
see.
so it takes your gift. But you know, I mean, I know some of the bad singers ever. You know, so I had opportunity.
Okay, I'm gonna leave it broad. I'm talking about gospel and secular music. The best male vocalist
Female
that you
or
ever.
male?
Now we're going male now. The best male vocalist that you've ever heard. I'm talking about secular and gospel combined. Who was the best you ever heard that could sing?
Well, you know, I had quite a few, man. You know, I mean,
That's hard.
not hard, man, but there was so many. You know,
It's the
like
one.
you know,
one.
like I'm gonna tell you,
The one
that could shake him down. I mean, if you see him live, that Marvin Sapp.
Well, it's Saps. Okay, I know exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly
Red Hammond.
what
I got all them boys. Marvin Wine, you know.
Marvin
You
Wine,
talking about some singers, man. You know,
Yeah.
but out of my
Anointed.
best,
Hold on.
Rand
Anointed.
Salad.
Anointed.
yeah, Rand Salad was the best of them all. Rand Salad, best of them all, because you know he changed the game. Rance Allen, he passed away.
Rance.
Rance
Yeah, you talking about the kind of heavy set fellas, man.
Rance Allen.
Rance.
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 Rance Allen. Okay. See,
Greatest of all.
you don't have me looking up stuff.
He's the greatest of all time. You know, when I've been in the presence of Kirk Franklin and all of them, you know, so you know,
I mean, Kurt said stop, but he wasn't up.
but no singing, but he was a but as far as somebody put music together,
I did my feet too. What do you think about like Luther Vandross and
I've been in the presence of, you know, I never was no real fan of
Luther went back together.
I know Luther, but matter of fact, when it was this group out called Sounds of Blackness.
I remember
I remember
Sounds
my
of
mama used to have me listen to the Sounds of
Blackness.
Yeah. There was a girl named Ann Nesbitt was a lead singer of that group one time, and they wanted me to play
Sounds
and
Black.
so they flew me into Las Vegas, and it was the opening act for Luther. So you know, and so you know, back then I was, you know, me and Philip Bailey and all.
The lead singer of Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yeah, all
But
of
y'all do know that. Y'all do know
Remember,
that.
I Believe?
Y'all do know.
That was
Y'all do
that
know.
was Sounds of Blackness.
Y'all do know that the
Boy
Earth.
Howard and all them was in there.
I do know that the Earth. What's the other guy from Philip Bailey? What's the other guy? What's the other guy? Maurice.
Died. He had
So what I'm telling y'all do know that I found out later on in life. They said that they sung every single part of every single track on Earth, Wind, and Fire, and then a band would listen to it and come in and do their harmony
Oh
afterwards.
yeah, but then a lot of times they had these girls, man, call it motion, emotions.
The emotions, come on, man. You got me spinning around.
They toured in some of my plays. But they sung a lot. They put a lot of the background together for me.
Exactly. But I never knew that the rest of the band didn't.
That's how they always did it, man. You know, they would go to the studio and they would pretty much cut all the tracks. Right.
And the emotions. You telling me something new?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Maurice White, Philip Bailey, and the emotions pretty much cut all the stuff.
But the singers was Maurice
White and Philip. Yes.
Right.
They were amazing, man. So the Lord blessed me to have opportunity to meet, pretty much everybody out there in the industry at one time or another.
This show will never end because I'm gonna keep picking your brain because I know
we got to wrap it up. We got to lay it down. Get back up and do it tomorrow.
Yeah, but I enjoyed the time I've had with you guys, and I look forward to cultivating talent here in this market and being able to bring some people's dreams to reality. That's what I'm here for now.
So if you got some for everybody who is interested in engaging and being a part of production, want to learn more about how the process goes, want to get interested in writing, interested in acting, right? We got a lot of actors here in the city. If you're interested in any of that, right? What would you say, like, what would be our next steps? Like, how would we cultivate? How would we plan? And then plan to kind of connect with everybody and build the industry.
Well, what we need to do is start creating a core group of people that we can connect with, then start finding talent to plug into the projects.
Gotcha.
At that point, we'll start developing the show, creating a factory assembly line kind of presentation. So you get one done, you got another one start. You always right now, always looking for writers that want to learn how to put a movie together the right way, and doing sequels on some of those movies till they learn more about how you put together a series. Looking for people that have some real knowledge already in the business that can assist us moving the train along even faster. So developing it here and moving it into the national to the international. That's the goal, and that can easily be achieved once you put like-minded people together. I'm not saying like-minded in talent, but just a group of people that specialize in various fields of entertainment.
That's right.
And then training the people that have a natural gift, or somebody that's loyal enough that wants to learn and serious, because you got to be serious about it. This kind of business is not a business of hobby, something that it ain't something you can, I can lay it down today and pick it up tomorrow. No, if you in this, you got to be in this. You can't say that I'm gonna be a movie star. Okay, all right. You think Denzel just walked up into this? No. These guys putting their time. This guy's still out there putting in time, trying to get audition. It's just that the doors have opened now, where they ain't got to just wait around for somebody to give them a job. Make you a job.
I respect that.
Create your own opportunity. If you can write, you can act. You ain't got to wait around. Put it together. It's not as expensive as it used to be to get started. It's not, man. They have low budget. They have ultra low budget. They got guerrilla style. They got all kind of ways of being able to bring a movie to the forefront and getting out there and going to the next level.
Well, man. Now, I appreciate the conversation. I appreciate the insight, man. That was a lot of history too, man. It was exciting, just even, just hear all the things
I'm blown away.
Kind of
I'm literally blown away.
And just all the insight that you provided, man. I think that was dope. And then I'm excited about the activity that's set to take place here moving forward and creating this type of scene here in Flint, right? guest stars walking around, doing shows at the Capitol, right? We showing them at the theater, right? We just getting it in at every level, man. I'm geeked up, man. Y'all remember Michael B. Jordan just said, right? Like, corny kid, right? So listen, when you see your brother on with Denzel and Mike out there holding it down, listen, don't call me then. We ain't call me. You know what I'm saying? I'm gone, baby.
He said what? He said, looking at girl, he said, corny kid, right?
Corny kid, right? Yeah. That was you, right? Yeah.
That was you, right?
Yeah.
Everybody know you up there, bro. Yeah, try to get on the boat when
don't get on the boat when it's gone now, lady.
We throwing out no life right now.
We in LA with it, don't
You
be
dig it. Now you putting in the work you should have been putting in the first place. You trying to catch up with the first place.
Right.
That's fine.
It be like that. So come on, let's build this factory together now. It's gonna take all hands on deck. Support from all levels. So let's make something for the coach, something for the city. Man, it's been a pleasure, man. Just hanging and kicking it with you, brother, as always. Man.
That's a blessing. That's a blessing.
Yeah,
One of my favorite shows we've ever done, for sure. You at the top of the list.
Come on,
you at the top of the list, man.
Good to be with good brothers that have passionate vision.
And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the channel. Fli-City Blackout on Facebook, Fli-City Blackout on YouTube. Make sure you tap in, man. If you like the content, you appreciate what you support the channel. All you gotta do is subscribe. It's free for you to subscribe, right? But then also you get connected to wonderful resources like Mr. Matthews here and other folks that's doing some great things, and how you get connected. So let's lock in, man. Don't wait till the end, right? Like don't wait until the train is already moving. Let's get behind it and push it together. So man, we're gonna tap out. We always tap out with a blackout, Mr. Matthews. So, we signing out. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. We'll be back next Tuesday with Democracy Defense League with Mr. Flint. And also we got the young guys. We got some young guys that's gonna have a showcase on here. They'll be doing their show next Monday, man. The young artists and culture with it. So we just opening it up, man. We want to definitely be that pillar. We want to be that industry. We got super talent here, so let's make it happen. Absolutely. Blacking out.
Then we light it up like sauce in the sauce in the sauce. We light it up like sauce in the sauce in the sauce. Fli-City got some dogs in it, dogs in it, dogs. Fli-City come off authentic. We light it up like sauce in the sauce in the sauce. We light it up